By the way, this video discusses about how we can solve the exponential equations. So in order to solve the exponential equations, you need to understand about the laws of indices that you need to go through before this video. And also solving the exponential equations uses the following two principles. Let's say if we have x to the power, let's say m, and being the same as x to the power, let's say n. Now since the bases are the same, then you can see that since the bases are the same, then it means the powers are also the same. So in this case, m is the same as the n. And let's say if we have x to the power m, which is equal to, let's say, n to the power m. Now in this case, since the powers are the same, then the bases are also said to be the same. So half x is the same as n. And how do you think you can solve for this? And by the way, we need to understand about those two principles and also the laws of indices in order to solve for the exponential equations. Let's say if we have 2 to the power x, which is equal to 4. So how do you think we can solve for x in this point? Now the x we are looking for, it is part of the exponent. So in this case, bear in mind that having, let's say 4, it is the same as having it as 2 to the power x, which is the same as 4 to the power 2, actually 4 to the power 1. Because wherever you see actually a number, let's say x, it is the same as x to the power 1, of which 1 becomes silent. If we have 5, you know 5 is the same as 5 to the power 1. If we have x plus 2, you know it is the same as x plus 2, you know, to the power 1, where 1 becomes silent. Now as you can see, we have two bases. You know, we have base 2 and we have base 4. Now how should you have to ensure that the bases are the same? So as you can see, we can be able to express 4 to have base 2. So in this point, we'll have it as 2 to the power x being the same as 2 to the power 2 times 1, which is the same as 2. Now since the bases are the same, then the powers are also said to be the same. We'll have x is equal, should be 2. So that's how you should have to understand it, in that way. And let's say if we have 2 to the power x, let's say, which is equal to 32. So how do you think we can have this? So the x we are looking for, it is part of the exponent. So it means that we should have to express the bases to be the same. But keep in mind that, you know, if we have 32, it is the same as 2 to the power x, which is equal to 32 to the power 1. Then we should have to express 32 and the 2 to have the same base. The only thing we can do is to express 32 to have base 2. So in this case, we'll have it as 2 to the power x, which is equal to 2 to the power 5. Because 32, it is the same as 2 to the power 5. And the easiest thing you can do is to use this technique. That's the easiest thing you can do as well. You can use this technique. That is, you have 32 here, and divide throughout by 2. You have 2 into 32, that is 16. And the 2 into 16, you have it as 8. 2 into 8, we have it as 4. And the 2 into 4, that is 2. And 2 into 2, that is giving us 1. So in this case, we have, 5 2's. That is the same as 32. It is the same as, 2 to the power 5. That has been expressed here, as you can see. So now, since the bases are the same, it means the powers are also said to be the same. So we'll have that one as x being given as 5. So that is the solution. And how about, let's say, if we have something like this? Let's say if we have, and that should be, let's say, 9 to the power x plus 2, that which is equal to 27. So how best we should solve for x in that point? As you can see, this is the same as having it as 9 to the power x plus 2, which is the same as 27, to the power positive 1. Then we should have to express all these to have the same bases. So in this case, we cannot express 29 to have base 3, actually to have base 9. We cannot express 29 to have base 9. But the The best we can go for is to express 9 to have base 3, and 27 can also be expressed to have base 3. So in that case, having 9, it is the same as 3 to the power 3 times x plus 2, that which is equal to 27. It is the same as, by the way, 3 to the power 2. So we can have it as 3 to the power 2. And at 27, it is given as 3 to the power 3. Should be that. And since the bases are the same, it means we'll just have to equate the powers. So for that point to have something like that, then we'll distribute 2, we'll have it as 2x plus 4, that is equal to 3. To have 2x, which is equal to 3 minus 4, that is 2x, which is equal to negative 1. And what is x? We have it as the negative half. So that is the solution. And let's say if we have this case, let's say we have 8 to the power m, which is equal to, let's say we have it as 0.125. Should be 0.25. Now that should be that 0.25. So how do you think we should have to solve for m in this point? So as you can see it here, this is the same as having it as 8 to the power m, which is equal to 0.25 to the power 1. Then what we have here is a decimal number. We should have to express that one as a fraction. So keep in mind that if we have, let's say 0.25, it is the same as having it as, and that should be, it is the same as having it as something about, let's say, 0.25 divided by 1. It is the same as that. Then we should have to eliminate the decimal point, and that is towards this side. So in this case, the decimal point will actually pass about the two numbers, will pass here and also pass here. That will be pressed here. So at this point, that corresponds to having 2 zeros. That is given as 25 divided by 100. It is the same as that. Likewise, let's say if you can have, let's say if we have 0.265, in this case, this is the same as having it as, having this number, this number, and this number. So it is, the decimal point has passed about 3 numbers. That corresponds to 3 zeros. So which means we'll have it as 265 divided by 1000. So each number, a decimal point has to pass. That corresponds to a single zero down there. And let's say if we have, should be 9.267, let's say 4. In a fraction, that will be given as, we'll divide by 1. Now corresponds to have this, that is 0, and this, that is 0, and this, that is 0, and also this, that is 0. So in this case, this is the same as 92.674 divided by 10,000. You can have that. So that's how we change the numbers from the decimal number to fraction. So in case you need more detailed instruction about this topic, just have to refer to my video playlist. You come across all these things. That is on YouTube channel, TikTok, as well as the Instagram, and also Facebook as well. You come across all these things. Now, how should you have this? So in this case, we have it as 8 to the power m, which is the same as, should be 25 divided by, should be 100. So we'll have something in that way. Then 25 into 25, that is 1. 25 into 100, that is 4. So which means we'll have it as 8 to the power m, which is equal to 1 over, it should be 4. And using the laws of indices, we'll have it as 8 to the power m, which is equal to, 4 to the power negative, and that should be 1. So in this case, we should have to express 8 and 4 to have the same base. So how should you have it? So in this case, we'll have it as, 2 to the power 3m, which is equal to 2 to the power negative 2. So since the bases are the same, we'll have it as 3m, which is equal to negative 2. Hence m is given as negative 2 divided by 3. So that is the solution. So make sure you understand about the laws of indices, because they are the ones that are being highly used, as you can see. So you cannot solve the exponential equations without the laws of indices, and that's a fairly taught lie. So keep that. And let's say if we have something about, let's say 2 to the power x, which is equal to 64. So how do you think x can be obtained here? Now the x we're looking for, it is part of the exponent. So we should have to ensure that we have, the same bases here. So how should you have 64 to have the same base as 2? Because 2, that's the lowest possible base we can have. So the easiest way is to use the same thing. So that is what's going on here. My drawing seems to be, much unrealistic. Anyway, so in this case we have it as 64. Have that, and what is 2 into 64? We have it as, should be 32. And the 2 into 32, that is, we have it as 16. And the 2 into 16, we have it as 8. 2 into 8, we have it as 4. 2 into 4, we have it as 2, and like that. So in this case, having 64, it is the same as, there should be 2 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is to the power 6. So have it as 2 to the power x, which is equal to 2 to the power 6. So since the bases are the same, then just have to equate the powers. So have something like that. So how do you think we will have this? Let's say if we have, there should be 2 to the power, let's say 2x plus 3, which is the same as, let's say 32. Now how should you have to solve for x here? So in this case, we should have to express the 2 to have the same base as 2. So have it as 2 to the power 2x plus 3, and which is equal to 2 to the power 5. Since the bases are the same, we'll have it as 2x plus 3, which is equal to 5. Then take it from there and finish that one on your own. And let's say if we can have something like this, and try to solve the following at your own time. Let's say if we have, then that should be 8 to the power x, which is the same as 128. Try to solve that, and also try this as well. 9 to the power x, which is equal to 7 to 9. And let's say if we have 25 to the power n plus 2, which is equal to, should be 125. And we should have this as well. That is, let's say 4 to the power m, which is equal to 1 over 8 to the power, it should be just that. And let's say if you can have also this as well, that is, what if we have 4 to the power 2n, and let's say minus 1 is equal to 1? How do you think we can have this? So bear in mind that, having 1, it is the same as, now since the base is given as 4, it is the same as having it as, 4 to the power 2n minus 1, which is equal to 4 to the power 0, because a number to the power 0 is given as, and there should be 1. So in this case, since the bases are the same, just have to equate the powers. You proceed from there. And let's say we should have to solve for, let's say 8 to the power 3x minus 2, which is equal to, that is 4 to the power 2x minus 1. So you should have to try to solve for those things. Now in that case, and also try to have this one as well, and appreciate how we can have it. Let's say if we have 6 to the power, let's say x is equal to 1. And also if we have, let's say 8 to the power, let's say d plus 2, which is equal to, and should be 0.25. How do you think you can have that? And also, if we have something about 8 to the power x minus 2, which is equal to 128 to the power 3x plus 5. So we should have to solve for x at that point. So try that one, and also let's look at the following cases as well, and also try to solve for this. Let's say if we have, let's say it should be 9 to the power x, and times 3 to the power should be 2x minus 1, and which is equal to 3 to the power 15. So how do you think we can have that? And also try this as well. That is let's say 16 to the power 3 plus m, and times it should be 2 to the power, that is 1 minus m, should be 1 minus 2m rather, 1 minus 2m, which is equal to have it as half to the power should be 1 plus 7m, like that. So how do you think we should have to express all these things? So try to go through. Let's say if we can have, and that should be, let's say 9 to the power 1 over 2x, and that should be plus, let's say 2, which is equal to, let's say 27 to the power x minus, let's say should be 5. How should you have all these things? And let's say if we have, should be 5 to the power x times, and it has to be 6 to the power 4, which is equal to 1 8 to the power 2, 180 to the power 2. So how do you think we can have that? And let's say if we have 25 to the power 2n, divided by, let's say 5 to the power n, like that, which is equal to, and that should be 5 to the power 6. So how do you think you can solve for n there? And let's say if we have, and that should be something about, by the way, you just have to go through those questions and appreciate how you think those can be actually solved. And also try this one as well. Let's say if we have 81 to the power n, which is equal to, should be square root of 3. How should you have that one? Let's say if we have 5 to the power n, which is equal to 1 over 5 square root of 5. So how should you have that? And also try to solve for 0.010, and there should be this 0.01 to the power m, let's say, which is equal to the square root of 10. So how do you think you can have that? And let's say if we have 5 to the power, let's say x, which is equal to 1 over 25. So how can you have that? And let's say if we have, there should be something about, let's say should be 4 to the power x minus 2, and let's say to the power 32. So how do you think we can solve all these things? So wherever you come across problem, wherever you face difficulties, so feel free and comment. Just have to even just have to text me on WhatsApp, that is 0997 27 26 26. And all these videos are available on all platforms, that is YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, as well as the TikTok. You come across the very interesting videos that you read much about. And we are also offering online lessons, that is basically, that is WhatsApp, where we are offering the private classes, that is, and also the general classes. So feel free to join the classes. Thank you.